As this is the last day of the year in 2022, I thought it would be a fun idea to look back this year in ESO and pinpoint 5 of the most memorable moments that have happened in-game and out of game. These moments could also be good and bad, but I think it's interesting to look back and see what kind of events or drama happened in the passing year. I'd like to do this every year and kind of compare and see how different each year has been and compare how good the year has been and how bad the year has been. If you want to see me make more of these videos at the end of the year, definitely heavy attack that like button and subscribe, because it does help us out. But thank you again to my members and patrons. If you'd like to become a member, check out the link below in the description. You can get your name up there in the video. You get access to our members only Discord, early access to videos, and much more. Starting off the list is the card game Tales of Tribute. This is the bombshell that happened at the beginning of the year, and I remember first seeing the High Isle teaser video with the ships and the 3 alliance flags and the big mean looking dude in the cool set of medieval armor and thinking, yep, we're getting sailing, we're getting ships, or we're getting ship combat. Yep, we're also getting pirates, maybe a new class, a new race, and maybe something PvP related. But what I was about to find out is something that I did not expect at all. A card game within a game. I remember on stream being shocked when they said that they were putting a card game in ESO. I remember thinking to myself, oh man, I think a lot of people are going to be pissed or disappointed. But the weird thing was, I was actually pretty excited for this. As you all know, I love card games, I love deck building, and this was something I was excited to try. But this news really started the snowball effect this year for ESO to be a very forgettable year in terms of content that came out or features. What I didn't like about the card game though was the fact that the rewards sucked. I literally lost all interest in the card game because the rewards weren't rewarding enough. Go figure. I remember playing ranked and getting bugged out and kicked, and I lost like 800 rank, and I was like, cool, all right, hopefully I get something good. Didn't get anything good from the rewards at the end of the season, and so I moved on from that.
I expect nothing, and I'm still let down.
The next on the list is having Billy Boyd voice act a character in the Tales of Tribute questline, brahwegotthis, and having him on for a live interview on ESO Live. This was awesome. This was a positive of last year, and the cool thing was we got the chat on Twitch to get up to 40-something breakfasts. If you don't know who Billy Boyd is, he plays Pippin in Lord of the Rings. When I first saw the article on the website about him being a voice actor for this expansion, I literally didn't know who that was, because when I looked at the guy, I was like, that's interesting, who's that? Like, literally no joke. But then I heard brahwegotthis' voice in the Tales of Tribute and in the game, and I was like, that dude sounds so familiar.
Right. The essence of the game is to buy cards to add to your play deck.
Then someone in my stream, I believe, told me it was Pippin, and I went back to the article and I was like, holy crap, I literally didn't even recognize him because I was so used to seeing him with long hair, being way younger, and as a hobbit in the movies. It was just so mind-boggling, and that was just like a super fanboy moment there. I just didn't recognize him. But when they brought him on ESO Live, it was a really cool thing for me, and it was a really big full circle moment because Lord of the Rings are my favorite movies of all time, and to think when I was a kid, 20 years later roughly, that I would be making videos or content for a game that had Pippin in the game, getting to do a Q&A, you know, on a live stream with him, that just would have blown my mind as a kid. Like, it was such a really cool moment and a surreal and positive moment for me this year in ESO, which is why it makes my most memorable moment list for ESO in 2023. The next memorable moment was the Update 35 combat debacle. This update was really the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of ESO players, and seriously, I have not seen an exodus like this ever in ESO since I've been making content. I think people have mentioned that there's been one like this when the Morrowind patch came out or something like that. I think Nephis has said that, but I mean, there's just so many players that just lost interest in this game. They got fatigued from all the changes, and they just left outright. Guilds got disbanded, the PvE community was desolate, and the whole community just really did not like this update. If you aren't familiar with it, I'm not going to go into all the details of it. There are tons of articles, posts, videos that you can read and watch that tell you all the ins and outs and details, but to shorten it for you, ZOS basically nerfed damage and changed a lot of how certain AoEs and skills operate. So much that people were seeing like a 20 to 30% DPS drop from their current DPS. It also made combat a little less exciting due to it making it be a lot, less active. Like, there was a lot more downtime, And so I do think when the patch went live, though, they did end up fixing some things beforehand, but the damage still had been done to the community, no pun intended. A lot of trust had been lost, and then people just lost interest. Like, guys, when that update came out, I did start like my full-time job again, but I just had really no interest in making builds again for ESO because it really just burned me out. I was like, okay, I'm not going to make a build when this is going to change in 3 months, and I just don't feel satisfying like when I'm doing damage or using this build right now. It really killed a lot of motivation for me to make builds, and I think it killed a lot of motivation for a lot of players to actually play the game. This flows into our fourth memorable moment this year, and that was the update 36 problem and bugs. There are bugs, I believe, that still haven't been able to be addressed yet due to various reasons. I think that's one of the reasons is like the Q&A team or something like that. But the update 36 launch was again really another big miss for ZOS, unfortunately. So much so that they offered some free items to make up for the people that purchased the DLC Fire Song. And honestly, it's sad that these things happened again. This couldn't have happened at a worse time or a worse year for the game. The game had already been struggling, and these two updates back to back were really nails in the coffin for a lot of players. Update 36 also was just very unexciting and just didn't have a lot of cool things in it. When you compare this update to the last few Q4 updates, it pales in comparison. We just didn't really get anything that was game altering or helpful, to be honest. I mean, like, think about the last couple years in Q4. We got the item set collection system, we got smart RNG, we got the armory system, we got a solo, Vashtorn Hollows. Like, we got a lot of stuff that was really good, and Q4 this year was just very, very much of a letdown. But moving on to the next memorable moment, and that was the Twitter drama. I have never seen so much drama on Twitter between the player base and between certain leadership positions for the devs. There was drama between players against players when it came to they're debating toxic positivity, they're debating the forums, they're debating PvP, they're debating casuals versus hardcore players, what the game needs, what the game should have. They're also debating updates and how they didn't really, live up to the hype or expectations. Then you throw all the drama between some of the devs, and there were tweets about the player base that made the player base even more upset, and that happened multiple times. And there were just a lot of words being spoken and a lot of arguing on a platform that has a bird as its logo. Personally, I'm not a fan of having the drama on social media platform because you can misconstrue what people are saying because you can't get the real emotion behind a text. But the memorable part to me was just the fact that honestly, sometimes it was such good drama in a lot of ways. I just wanted to grab some popcorn and watch it unfold because it was wild. These are the 5 memorable moments that stick out to me this last year in ESO, and I'm sure you could probably pinpoint a few other ones. So I'd love to hear your memorable moments for ESO in 2022 and what stuck out to you down in the comment section. And again, make sure to like the video if you'd like to see more of these type of videos. But hopefully next year we'll have a better report at the end of 2023 and we'll have more positive memorable moments for ESO. But just remember, have faith, be great, and I'll see you on ESO. Check out all these videos above me.
I don't like it very much. Nice. It was horrible. That wasn't very nice. Oh, this is good.